I've been putting off reviewing these shoes for, well, about a year now, and the main reason is I really like them. They just don't fit me very well. So I'm going to be doing my best to review these shoes for you so you can understand what they're like when they're on your feet and if I would recommend them. Of course, chapters are always linked below, so if you want to skip ahead to any chapters, you can do so there. Let's kick this off with the fit of the shoes. So when it comes down to the fit, I have what they call Greek foot. So the second toe is longer than the big toe, so it forms this weird shape at the front, and they tend to be, your feet tend to be wider. And as you can see, this shoe here, it's actually, it has a fair amount of space, but it's still a fairly narrow shoe. With being a narrow shoe, they actually don't dig in much on the sides here. So I'll overlay a quick picture where you can see after a ride, this is where the pressure points are on my foot. And you can see on the side here that on the fifth metatarsal, there is pressure. I don't get any tingling or numbness and stuff like that, but I can feel there is some pressure on the shoe. Thankfully, because it's like a weave over the whole thing, it kind of adapts to the shape of the foot, meaning that this isn't actually my main issue with the shoe. So the width isn't bad. I'll overlay another photo in a moment, but as you can see, it's actually the most medial cuneiform, this bony bit right here, that really bothers me in this shoe. Effectively, what I think is happening is that this hard plastic spot is perfectly sitting on the bone there, and it happens on both sides. And where you've tightened up the boa dart, it's always pressing into that area. And even after like about 30 minutes, I can really start to feel that spot there. Which makes me think, for my foot, these shoes could have benefited with maybe, instead of having a straight line where the tongue sits, it could be at more of an angle here, going down this way, which might be able to reduce that. Because for the rest of the foot, because it's more of a fabric style material, actually it does fit the rest of the foot very well.
If you're wondering about sizing, I just personally bought true to size, so 43 in the normal European standard, and yeah, it seems to be true to size to me.
For other bits on the fit, they do actually come with different arch support. So this is literally just here, held on by a little bit of Velcro. And it comes with a medium and a high arch. So if you want a bigger arch, of course you can have zero arch or neutral if you don't put anything in there. I like the medium one, but it just makes it somewhat adjustable. You know, I don't think it's a perfect solution by any means if you like a custom insole, but it's better than nothing. So of course, guys, feet are so different from person to person. These are just my experiences with this shoe, and they're the places where they dig in for me. I think the only way you're really gonna know if they actually fit your foot is if you put them on and sit with them for like 30 minutes, an hour, just around your house, tighten them up nicely. And then if they fit and don't dig in, then you might be okay. Sadly, Rapha don't offer a wide foot option on these shoes, so I think that would be a really nice option for people like me or those with wider feet, and it might solve some of the digging in problems that I experience. But fit aside, I do think there are some really good things about these shoes as well, so let's get into the next category. For those of you who are interested in weights, as you can see here, this one comes in at 297 grams, but that is with cleats. I don't want to take them off because I got them in the perfect position and I don't want to lose that. But I think that's pretty damn light for a very good stiff carbon shoe there. If we compare that to an even more expensive S-Works Torch shoe, 270, so there really isn't much difference, 26 grams between the shoes with cleats on.
Cooling. This is something I need your guys' help for. I want you guys to know if you've had these shoes, if you find the cooling is good on them. For me, I personally don't actually get hot feet no matter what the temperature really. It's not something I really think about, so it's not an area that I've noticed, but I will give you my opinion real quick. It doesn't feel like much air flows through the shoe, I must say. I would have thought with them being a fabric, I would feel more air going through, but honestly, I actually can't feel any air going through. So it's kind of a non-issue for me, but if you do get hot feet, might be a bit of a deal breaker for you. Anyway, if you have tried it, please do let me know. I would like to hear from some other people on this one. For wet riding, the shoes don't seem to collect as much water as they should. They're not squelchy and pooly at the bottom of the sole. Unlike my S-Works shoes are, they seem to collect a lot of water. But no, these ones aren't too bad. I also find that they dry fairly okay. Like the S-Works, again, they take forever to dry, and if you don't get a hairdryer on them, they stink pretty damn quickly. I would say that these shoes have a normal drying time. They're not fast, they're not slow, but I don't think I've ever used a cycling shoe that dries quickly after a wet ride.
The sole of the shoe is, well, as you would expect from a pro level shoe, it is extremely stiff. I mean, it performs on the level of any other top end shoe that I have used. It's just so rock solid. I like to think I put out some good numbers. I can comfortably hit over 1600 watts on the bike, and I can't feel any flex in the shoe whatsoever. Now I know actually shoe flex doesn't really have a difference on performance, but if you like a stiffer shoe, then you'll probably like this one. If you really like that locked in feeling, this shoe does provide that. There's tons of stability over the top of the foot, and when you put the foot in the heel cup, it doesn't feel like it's locked in, but as I put the power down, I just cannot feel the heel moving at all. So for me, it does seem to be locked in very well into the shoe.
One thing I do really love about this shoe is that there's options that you can spec it with. So you can either have the normal boa option, such as what I have here, or finally they have like a speed lace option, which I've never been able to use before, which I think is effectively very similar to a lace-up option, but it's just quicker. Anyway, if you've tried those guys, please do let me know if you like that speed lace option.
I must say, the actual style of the shoe, I love the way that the shoe looks. They all kind of come with this very like faded style, no matter what color you go with. And I think they actually have lots of great color options that will bring you away from the standard white shoe. Now, of course, I think the white one also looks excellent as well, but I think they've got a real unique and perfect blend of the Rapha style and just a general good stylish shoe in this thing. I think they look cool in all the colors. I think they look great. If you're wondering what these ones are and they're not on the website, they were like a limited edition Paul Smith one that my girlfriend bought me for my birthday 2 years ago.
Cleaning. Cleaning is actually one of the things I've been fairly impressed with this shoe. Now, the effects of the cleaning might be more exacerbated because I have a black shoe rather than a white one. So I'd be keen to know if you have the white shoe, if you've had the same experience as me. But generally, just a baby wipe seems to get most of the dirt off here. If I do need a bit of a deeper scrub, it's been a little bit muddier here in the UK, then I find I need to use a brush to get the extra dirt out. But generally speaking, they're surprisingly easy to clean. I haven't put them through the washing machine yet, but if you have tried that, maybe on the white version, the dirt might ingrain itself a bit deeper into that woven fabric. But for the black version, seems to be okay.
Well, let's chat about the price real quick. And if you like this shoe, like your foot fits the shape of the shoe or vice versa, then it's currently on sale at Rapha, which happens quite frequently, from anywhere from £122 to £191. That is of course dependent on the color, the bow dial or lace or setup that the actual shoe has. But I think for those prices and for a pro shoe that's this stiff, I think that's actually a fairly decent price for it. The full retail price is from £245 to like 295 quid, which is starting to get a bit more on the expensive end. But once again, if you like the style and the shape of the shoe suits your foot shape, then I still think it's a good shoe for that price. If it doesn't though, obviously it's not that justifiable like it is for me.
So after all that I've said there, do I think that it's a high performing shoe? In some areas, yes, like the stiffness and that. In other areas, no, such as the cooling. But it is a shoe I like the look of. I think it's a very attractive shoe. It depends how much weight you personally place on the looks of the shoe, although I'd argue fit when you're cycling is definitely more important on this side of things.
Anyway guys, if you have any further questions that you think I've missed on this video, feel free to stick them in the comments below. Moreover, you can always find me privately on Instagram over here where I reply to pretty much everything, or you can just check out my daily shenanigans. But I've been Jason, this has been Cycling Unboxed. I'll see you in another video.